When you stand inside slave dungeons built centuries ago by colonial powers in Ghana, something becomes impossible to ignore. These structures were imposed by outside powers to capture and export African lives across the Atlantic. But that same Atlantic world also gave rise to something else: Haiti, and somewhere between the slave dungeons imposed in West Africa and the mountaintop fortresses of Haiti lies a deeper story about memory, resistance, survival, and freedom. Stay with me as we uncover the trauma, resilience, and triumphs of two nations that refused to break while honoring Haitian Flag Day today, May 18, 2026. Welcome to my channel. My name is Angie Marie, and here we explore the cultures, histories, and human stories that continue to inspire, transform, and connect people across the world. When we think about Ghana, we think about beauty, culture, peace, music, warmth, and community. And all of that is true. But Ghana also carries some of the heaviest memories in the history of the Black world. During time spent there, I visited the slave dungeons at Cape Coast Castle and the Elmina Castle. And honestly, no book, no documentary, no history lesson can fully prepare you for what it feels like to stand in those spaces. The sign that reads "Door of No Return" carries a weight that is difficult to describe. The walls feel heavy. The air feels heavy. The smell of sweat remains etched in those dark walls. Even the silence feels heavy. You walk through narrow rooms where countless African men, women, and children were held captive before being forced onto ships crossing the Atlantic Ocean. Human beings were treated like cargo, families separated, names erased, dreams interrupted. Ghana's history carries deep wounds, from the horrors of slavery to later periods of political turmoil and bloody military coups, most recently in 1979 and 1981, only a few years before the peace that exists there today. Ghana stands tall as a powerful example that peace can still rise after periods of intense pain and instability. And across the Atlantic, in Haiti, that spirit rose again. The spirit of resistance survived, not along the coastlines where enslaved Africans once arrived in chains, but further inland in the mountains. Haiti's freedom forts were built to stand tall as symbols of protection, survival, and freedom. Watchful and unbroken, powerful tributes to a nation still carrying the resilience of its African ancestors. So standing there at the slave dungeons, one question kept rising in my mind. What did the millions of people who were captured feel as they were taken through that final door during the transatlantic slave trade? Did they know they would never see home again? Did they know that generations later their descendants would still be searching for fragments of identity across oceans and continents? And then another thought came. The people taken through those dungeons were not the end of the story. They were seeds scattered across the Atlantic. The colonial system believed it was exporting labor, but it was scattering seeds. Seeds carrying memory, spirit, language, rhythm, belief, resistance, and an unbroken desire for freedom. Whether you are from the continent of Africa, a Caribbean national, or from anywhere across the globe, I invite you to like, share, subscribe, and comment if these stories of history, resilience, culture, and freedom resonate with you. Across the Caribbean and the Americas, those seeds endured, and nowhere is that more powerful than in Haiti, because Haiti became the first Black republic born from a successful slave revolution. Enslaved Africans rose up and defeated some of the most powerful empires in the world, the most powerful armies in the world, against impossible odds, against systems designed to erase them. Haiti changed world history. That is why the contrast between the slave dungeons in Ghana and the forts of Haiti feels so powerful. One history shows what was done to us. The other shows what was done in response. Because the Black Atlantic story is connected. The same people taken from the shores of West Africa helped shape cultures throughout the Caribbean and the Americas. A story of people who were scattered but not destroyed. People who crossed oceans carrying more than suffering. Some built nations, some built cultures. In Jamaica, in Trinidad and Tobago, in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, in St. Lucia, across the Caribbean, across the Americas. Some built movements and some built fortresses, as in Haiti, to defend freedom for future generations. And now in 2026, Haiti marks 222 years, 222, since the revolution of 1804 changed world history forever. They carried memory, identity, songs, faith, rebellion, and eventually revolution, a successful revolution that shook the world. That is why Haitian Flag Day means so much more than a celebration on a calendar. It represents dignity, unity, resistance, liberation, memory. It represents a people who refused to accept the lie that they were born to remain enslaved forever. And every year on May 18, I think about what it took for that flag to exist. The courage, the sacrifice, the vision, the impossible faith required for enslaved people to still believe freedom could be achieved. And honestly, I think there are lessons in this for all of us today. Every generation has to decide what kind of structures it will build. Will we build systems that imprison people or systems that protect dignity and freedom? Will we continue cycles of division and destruction or build something worthy of the sacrifices made before us? So what can we learn from structures like Citadelle Laferrière, built after Haiti's independence by Haitians determined to protect their freedom at all costs? What can we learn from leaders such as Jean-Jacques Dessalines and Henry Christophe about building not for conquest, but for protection, sovereignty, and survival? Haiti built forts to defend its liberation. Structures like the Citadelle Laferrière were symbols of vigilance, sovereignty, survival, a declaration that said, never again. Too often, our history is told only through suffering. The story does not end in the dungeon. It continues in resistance, in revolution, in survival, and in creation. This is why May 18, Haitian Flag Day, is so much more than a date on a calendar. It represents dignity, unity, resistance, liberation, memory. What was meant to break a people did not end them. It scattered them, and scattered seeds still grow. And if you're watching this video while carrying challenges of your own, I want to leave you with 3 reminders. First, pain does not erase possibility. Just because you've suffered does not mean your future is ruined. Some of the strongest people, cultures, and nations in history were shaped through hardship, not destroyed by it. Second, survival is already evidence of strength. You're still here, still trying and still hoping, even in small ways. That means something. And third, healing and joy can exist alongside scars. Ghana, Haiti, and so many communities across the world carry deep historical wounds. Yet they still create music, beauty, laughter, culture, family, and life. And you can do the same. So maybe that's the lesson for all of us. Pain may shape us, but it does not have to be our ending. Our wounds may become part of our story, but they do not have to become our identity. If you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button and like this video, and feel free to share it with anyone you choose. Thank you so much for staying with me to the end of this video. And to all my Haitian family and everyone who stands with and supports Haiti, happy Haitian Flag Day. This is Angie Marie, and I'll see you soon in the next video.